Hi, everybody, and welcome to the second episode of Movies with Lane. Right off the bat, I want to say again that Lane doesn't really always watch the whole movie with me. She kind of just hangs out. Anyway, that's part of the experience, is watching movies with the baby, and now we're going to review them together. So, this is Lane, I'm Nick, and this is the second episode. Today we're going to be talking about a 2018 movie that I've been wanting to watch pretty much all year. It's called The Old Man and the Gun. I got it from the Red Box, so you can stroll down to your nearest Red Box and pick it up if you wanted. It's new to DVD. It was directed by this guy David Lowrey, who he did a movie last year that I put in my top 10 called A Ghost Story. You know, Lane's pretty excited about this review today. We had a fun time watching it together last night. Lane is starting to teeth a little bit, right, Laney? So you can't really see her teeth yet, but they're certainly coming in. Like, she can feel it. You can just tell that she's kind of generally uncomfortable, and she's not like sleeping as much as she was, so it's kind of good for her to like chill out and try to get some sleeps. So I turned on the movie and I was pretty much just like rocking her in her chair. You know, her chair's like facing the other way, and I'm rocking her, and she was just kind of hanging out and not really needing to do much more because she was tired, and she did fall asleep twice. So like I said, we're going to be talking about The Old Man and the Gun and our experiences watching it. And first of all, I guess I already did first of all, but this movie was pretty great. Like, I really, really enjoyed this movie. Right from the beginning, I knew I was going to be into it. It was just one of those movies where right from the beginning, it set the tone of the whole movie. And the tone was Robert Redford is an old, charming man. He's in his 70s, and he's happy, and he robs banks. That's what he does. The beginning of the movie, he just goes up and he robs a bank, and he drives away, and he does it with a smile on his face. And like that's the whole movie. Like, I read an interview with the director, and he was talking about how bank heist movies are always, like, they're a classic. They're a staple of genre filmmaking. And he wanted to strip away the frills and the plot of the movie and just focus on the characters and the relationships and what it's like for this guy. It's a true story, too. And he wanted to talk about what it was like for this guy what he loved to do his whole life was to rob banks. And now that he's in his 70s, he's still doing it. The cast of this movie was amazing. Like I said, Robert Redford, he's the main character, and this is supposedly his last movie he's going to make. The man's retiring. And he stars alongside Sissy Spacek, and Casey Affleck plays the detective who's tracking him down, which there's a lot of detail spent on his story of putting the pieces together and mapping out where this guy's journey has gone and finding out who he was. And then there's also Danny Glover and Tom Waits. Tom freaking Waits. And they are a little gang. And the media calls them the Over the Hill Gang, which is it's just perfect. Like, this movie is so much fun and so charming, and, you know, it's not going to be for everyone because there's not a lot of action, there's not a lot of plot, but the movie also doesn't overstay its welcome. Like, there's only 90 minutes of real movie here, and so the pace is pretty quick. Like I said, not a lot happens, but because it's short, it doesn't feel like not a lot's happening. It just kind of moves along, and just goes about its day. It's a really, really enjoyable movie. And it kind of explores this concept of, like, there's something to be said about doing what you love. And this guy loved robbing banks, and to him that was living. You know, he never really seemed threatening. He always Rod Banks the same way. He said he had a gun, and people would come after, and because he had a gun, they would just give him the money. He probably never fired the gun. He just kind of did it. And he did it with a smile on his face, and it was almost like the people he was robbing from actually liked him. Like, they always described him, and yeah, he kind of had a smirk on, and he was actually, like, likable, that, I don't know. I love these types of movies that do, like, one thing, and it's something that you'll never really experience in life, but you really get a feel for how people would do them. And, I mean, and Robert Redford is just so, I mean, he's a legend, and he's so good in this role. He's just great. And, yeah, like I said, I think Lane enjoyed it. Lane fell asleep twice. The first time she fell asleep, she was rocking, and then I got up and, put something in the microwave. I wanted to have a cup of coffee, so I was microwaving some coffee from earlier, and that woke her up. Like I said, she's not sleeping as well, and, she fell asleep about 40 minutes later, and she woke up that time right when I moved my foot. I was rocking her with my foot in her chair, and right when I moved my foot, she woke up. And then she was just awake, and I put her on the floor, and I was kind of like playing with her. She had a toy, and we're watching the movie together, and it was a good time. Right, Lane? Did you have a good time with that movie? The Old Man and the Gun? Yeah. So, anyway, that movie's called The Old Man and the Gun. I would recommend it. If you like movies and you're into something that's just pleasant and charming, then I would definitely recommend this movie. Like I said, it's pretty short, so it's not a huge commitment, and it's just kind of like a nice evening sort of movie that you could watch and you can just kind of have a good time with. So that's The Old Man and the Gun. You can get it from the Redbox, and anyway, so I don't know what our next movie will be that we'll record, but it's certainly fun hanging out with Lane. And, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.